Hi everybody. Today you're going to learn about branches in Git. Here's the kind of situation where you would use a branch. So let's pretend that you're working on a paper for school with a friend. You want to add some stuff to the paper, but you're not sure if your friend's going to like it. So instead of just going and changing the document, you make a copy of the document and you give it a different name, like adding changes. And then you go and you add your changes, so that way you've still got the original in case the changes that you are adding they don't like. That's the same kind of idea about a branch. A branch is like a copy of all of your code with a special name, so that way you can save all of your changes into this copy, and you're not going to mess up your original code base. But then, if everybody likes the changes you've made, you can merge them back together again. So today you're going to do a little experiment, and you're going to learn how to create these branches. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to clone our repository. So make sure you have a terminal open and figure out what directory you're in. You want to be inside the directory where your workspace is. So I'm using my workspace inside D, David, Java, workspaces, Firebot examples. You can know where your workspace is if you go to Eclipse and you go to File, Switch Workspace, Other. It'll tell you the location of your workspace. So here it's D, David, Java Workspaces, Firebot example. So as long as you're sure you're in your right workspace here, you can type git clone and then git at challenge-bot.com : repos/3501/simulator with a capital S. If everything works, it should say cloning into simulator, and you should see it downloading some stuff. There's two things that might go wrong at this point. If it's asking you for a password, that means that you didn't put your public key inside our document. This Git server that we're using uses a different form of authentication than passwords. So instead of passwords, you use this public key and private key that you generated last time. So if that's happening to you, call an adult over and we'll help you get your key in the document, and then Danny will have to enter it manually for you. Okay, the other way it might go wrong is what happens if I mistype simulator? Simulator. So I just mistyped it. In that case, it'll look like it's working, but here it says you appear to have cloned an empty repository. So that's not what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that one. So if it's worked, now inside Eclipse, you can say File, New, Java Project, and type a project that's the exact same name as the folder name that you cloned. So here it says simulator is the folder name, so I'm going to type simulator. It should say at the bottom, the wizard will automatically configure the JRE, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'll click finish. And then if everything's gone well, you should be able to open SRC, and inside simulator, sim, I think is the one we run. Yeah, if you run sim, there you see it's running the simulator where the robot goes forward and turns to the right. Alright, so if we've made it that far, why don't you open robot.commands and look inside auton1. So this is the autonomous command that is running right now. We add sequential and we drive 2 forward and then we turn right for another 2. So this is what we're going to make a change to. But before you make a change, I want to show you how to do this thing where you make a copy of the whole code base with a different name so that way all of your changes are in this other copied version. So the main version, the one that you cloned, this is called master. This is called the master branch. On our team, we save the master branch for only code that an adult has reviewed so that we're sure that the master branch always works and has code we like. You can see what branch you're on here inside. Well, first of all, let's go inside simulator. So I'll say CD for change directory, simulator, and then ls lists. If you look here, depending on what terminal you're using, mine actually says master. Right there, you see it says master. So that's telling me I'm in the main copy of my code right now. I'm in the master branch. If you type get branch, that will show you all of the branches that are available. So right now, I only have one copy of the code called master. So let's create another one. Type git checkout -b. -b creates a new branch. And then type a name for your branch. The name for your branch should be your first name, and then a slash, and then the name of the feature that you're going to add. So what changes are you going to make? You're going to be creating a different auton command. So why don't you type new auton command. And here it says switched to a new branch, David, new auton command. And you see here, it says David/new auton command. So now, whatever changes we make here, if we commit them, those changes are going to get saved into this parallel copy. So let's go ahead and make some changes. I'm going to make a very simple change. I'm just going to make it go forward 4 and turn right 4. So I made those two changes. I saved it. I'm going to run it to make sure it looks good. So it just goes a little bit further and turns now. You know what? I'm going to make it go forward again after that. So I copied that and I pasted it here. So now let's watch what happens. Okay, so it goes forward and it turns, and now it goes forward again. All right, so let's say I'm happy with that command. I want to save that change now. So I'll do the same process that we've done for the last 2 weeks. Get status tells me what I've changed. And here it says I've modified this file. So that's the file I want to add to the next time I commit. So I'll type git add, and then I type exactly what it says here. Source robot commands auton1. Source robot commands auton1. So now that I've added it, I want to save that change. In Git language, we say make a commit. So I'll say git commit, and then I'll have -m for my commit message. And my commit message, I'm going to have kind of a general commit message, which is not that good. I'm going to say changed auton1.java, because that's what I did. Okay, so now I've made a commit. So let's say that I want to look back at my original copy. You can type git checkout master, and checkout means I'm going to go back to the master copy. So now it says I've switched back to master. Here, if you click inside Eclipse, you see auton1 has changed back to what I had the first time. I've got 2s instead of 4s. Now if I'm back in my terminal and I type git checkout, let's say I forget the name of my branch, so let's type get branch again. There it is. David/new auton command. So I'll type git checkout, David/new, and you can hit tab here and it should autocomplete. So now I've switched to my other branch, I've switched to my other copy, and when I click in here, there it's been updated again. So that's the idea of branching. Whenever we do work, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a new branch if you're starting a new feature that you're adding, so that way you're working in a safe copy that's separate from everybody else's copies. Okay, good luck.